Opportunities are endless, and in the world of arts and culture, we get to tell people's stories, both ladies and gentlemen. And in the past, that's been part of the work that we've been doing. And just here today, another edition of the Naccau Arts and Craft Show. Today, I am glad to be hosting a lady. In the recent past, we've had a couple of gentlemen, but today we are glad to be having a lady. Ladies and gentlemen, with me today is Miss Joselyn Alinda. Now, Miss Joselyn Alinda is a part of Naccau, and through Naccau, she was actually delegated to go and represent Naccau, the association, to even bigger associations in the region. But even before that, she's part of You Will, which is another women in Arts Association Limited. It is a limited company. But even above all that, she is also part of the people that sit at the Naccau under shop number 20, which is Alinda Crafts Shop. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome with me, Miss Alinda. Joselyn, say hello to the people.
Hello, audience. Nice to be here. My name is Alinda Joselyn, member of National Arts and Cultural Crafts Association of Uganda. You Will, as you've heard, and SIMSO, that is Confederation for Micro and Small Enterprises, Uganda chapter.
Okay. Today we shall be discussing how culture, in regards to art, can manifest itself through expos and exhibitions, because part of your role representing Naccau at SIMSO, if I just got that right, is for you to search for better opportunities for artists locally here, and understand you've widely traveled or exhibited or exhibited some of this work. So I want us to start from there. Briefly tell us about SIMSO and how you got there to represent Naccau.
At SIMSO, I don't represent Naccau, I represent Uganda.
Uganda,
yeah.
the country.
Yeah.
Okay. Probably the role that Naccau played in sending you to that platform.
No, I should say Naccau has been my pivot, my turning point. It has been the neck that turns the head. If it wasn't Naccau, I wouldn't have been in all those places.
Okay.
Because I remember I came to Naccau a number of years back, around 2000 there. And Alinda Crafts came into existence around 2007, but it was all through Naccau.
Okay.
So Naccau is, I should be saying, a grandmother of everything around me. Yeah, it has nurtured me. It has put me to places, and now that I can even sit on a committee which represents the country, really, I blow a big trumpet for National Arts and Cultural Crafts Association of Uganda. However, SIMSO does not do only arts and crafts. We encompass made in Uganda.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Briefly, talking about 20 years of you being in this artistic space and now even rising into positions of leadership, to take you a little bit back, where is your journey like? What did growing up? I want to find that bit, that particular point you got into this world of arts, crafts, because understand some of the products you came around here. These are beads, you do tailoring, these are some of the products. This, which I loved most, is I think basketry, and a lot more of the works. How did you end up in this kind of industry for you to start doing these particular products?
How did I end up into this? I ended up into arts and craft through one of my aunties. She was my guardian. And I asked her for a job. I had just given birth, and I was looking for something to do then. And whatever I was looking for, I could not apply anywhere because I did not have a particular qualification. So she told me, no, you can come and work with me.
Okay.
So that is Madame Dorothy Mugenyi, and I am proud of her part of my journey into arts and crafts. So I worked with her as a shop attendant, but meanwhile...
Where was that?
It was a national art still.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Here in the same spaces.
Yeah, the same space.
Okay.
So I was her shop attendant, but I was learning what is taking place. And I should say, I fell in love with what I found.
Yes.
Apart from selling these products, I fell in love with making a few of them.
Yes.
From there, I began making the beads. I had a client who came to me and told me, I want you to begin making for me waist beads.
Okay.
And I'm like, how much will you pay me? He told me, I'm paying, the time he was paying me 500 shillings, I think, per line. Yeah, bitano, per line. So I'm like, okay, I can do them.
In their style, entirely.
Yeah, these tiny beads, I should say, we were capitalizing on these smaller beads.
So what is a line, if you could just show
a line is something which would fit somebody's waist.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah, some people you find they have like 3 lines.
Yes, some have 9, some have 10.
So you charge.
But for me, I was charging per line.
Per line, okay.
He told me, I'm giving you 500 Uganda shillings per line.
Okay.
So as I'm seated in the shop, I'm making these lines. So I began graduating because it was exciting and it was giving me good revenue.
Yes.
Yeah, it was exciting. From doing those lines, I began doing the cross bracelets, which today I didn't carry with me. Yeah, I began doing the cross. Even those ones, you would take quite like 100 of them, 50 of them. So really, by the time I stopped working for my auntie, it was easy for me to stand on my 2 feet together with one of my cousins who had also begun a new shop around. Joselyn, I think we can work together. I said, no problem. So here it was more balanced. This way I was working as a worker. This side I was like a partner. So,
okay. So you talked of your journey starting 2000. Now 2000
around 2000, 2003, around 2000.
At what time do you get independent, become independent? Living
I don't really love sharing the part of being independent because
but we can, I'm right when I say 2 decades, over 2 decades into this practice.
I think I had over a long time really. I think I had become a little more ambitious for when I was working with my cousin, and she was like, she was not picking it as a human being. Today I'm telling her we should do this, and like I was in Uganda, I keep hearing on Vuga speed. So we were not on the same wavelength.
Yes.
Much as she was my sister, it was going to bring, I think, trouble. So at some point, we agreed to part in a good way. Somehow we agreed, and we are friends. We still work together. Okay. But it was easier for me
establish
independently because it gave me an opportunity to explore, to understand what is going on at my own pace.
Okay.
Yeah.
At the time, Naccau, actually to date, when a person moves into the Naccau grounds, much of what welcomes them are the artistic pieces that are painted or drawn. At the time, what interested you to pick much more interest in beading? Understand, it's what you had learned firsthand from your auntie's space. Didn't you at any one time think of probably moving into like painting or even getting the skill? Why particularly beading, basketry, and tailoring for you?
Beading takes a bit of time. Okay. And it was giving me good revenue. So I never thought of anything beyond the beading.
I mean, it was your first thing, and it
was my first. I taught myself, and it was giving me. It's exciting when you do it yourself, and a client takes it.
Okay.
So for me, I was excited.
Why do you say it takes time?
Because these are tiny pieces to put together.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I didn't do this one, but I know how to do it.
Yes.
I don't need to go to a class. I know the process. I can do it because right now there are some young women I'm training to do some of these things. Yeah, I usually see in art, if you're interested, there's no school. You can do it.
Yeah, most of the
one class is just enough.
We've hosted here testified that they learned these things at their own. They were probably at Naccau. Yeah. And one thing led to another, and before they knew it, they were actually doing it. Yeah,
and because it takes some bit of time, at some times I put it aside because we have a competitor now. We have a competitor called Kenya.
Kenya, in the beading industry?
Yeah, this is a very huge competition that...
I see people who usually put on the hand bangles or beads, that the Kenyan beads in their national colors, national flag colors, even here in Uganda.
We do make those. Yes. We do make those. I make them myself. I remember I used to ask somebody, can you please, that was David, I told him, please teach me how to make this. I'm going to pay you. I'll teach you. He was a bit too busy for me, and I was moving faster. Yeah. So I was challenged to train this class with some bead work. We did a few pieces, and I was bored with what we had done. Yes. So I said, I think we need something new. I began doing that. It was one night I sat and made that bracelet and it was perfect.
Okay.
So that's why I say when it comes to beading, to art, when you love it, you will do it. And it's one place, Naccau, where you come in as a guest and you could easily get out as an artist. Yes. I came in as a worker and today I'm an artist.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. To take you a little bit back, you talked about the competition with a country called Kenya, our neighbors. Just expand more on that. And why is it like that?
I should say it's a little bit cheaper. At some point, maybe because of the raw materials, which Uganda does not make. We import raw materials. So the importation of raw materials makes these items a bit higher than that country.
What are some of the raw materials involved in making the beads?
We have the beads
themselves, yes.
Then we have those tubes. Some of them which use the tube. Then we have those metallic ends.
Yes.
Because if they don't come from China,
designs.
in fact, the other country is China.
Yes.
They are made in China, those ones. And then there is the strings.
Yes.
So when you find that some of the raw materials are imported, it becomes a bit expensive for you to do the product. However, we are moving to products made from the products we have in the country. We have like those water beads.
Okay.
Yeah, the water beads make some very good bracelets and necklaces. Sometimes they decorate drums, they decorate the gourds for the ones used for dancing. So we're trying to move to items, the raw materials, which are Ugandan, to reduce on the
reduce on that cost.
Yeah.
It is from that point that I ask Miss Alinda, with the challenges you've just hinted on, in terms of, say, if an investor, a private investor, or even government, all our structures in the art, if they were to help Naccau as an institution, and particularly, I'll keep it to probably people like you who are doing beading, basketry, and maybe tailoring, where would that much needed support, what is that much needed support that you might require to help solve some of these challenges in terms of production of these particular products?
I think there is need for improving innovation. People need to adjust. As we preserve the culture and do cultural products, there is need for innovation, designs.
Yes.
So if we could invest more in designs, because you cannot have this design forever and you expect to continue selling it, much as you're looking at preserving your culture, it is important.
It even becomes so much.
Yeah, there is a gap in innovation and there is a huge gap in marketing art.
Yes.
If government is the first buyer, the biggest buyer in this, wherever you go.
Yes.
If government can buy from us, before we even come to ask for handouts and so on, if government can become our first buyer.
Yes.
Like you are designing something and you say, National Arts and Crafts, can you design this product for us? Maybe design our calendars, design our curtains, because all those offices have curtains.
Yes.
But those curtains are imported from China.
Okay.
So when a government person comes to my shop and tells me, if we are selling in China, I'm confused. I'm like, where you're coming from, you're not even supporting me. If you could support me first and make me better, maybe some of these products you would not be seeing them.
Okay.
We want to look at arts and crafts not only as business, but as a form of preserving our culture. Because I'm not very comfortable selling another culture. Because like today when I walked in here, I'm like, this is us.
Yes.
It is our space. Can we improve? Can you talk about Uganda? Because when you go to these other countries, like you said, you've been at Expos, you've traveled and so on. These countries are highly supported.
Their system
supports arts and crafts. I'll give you an example of some countries which I'm very conversant with, like Rwanda. It is supported 100%. Rwandese, you meet her, she tells you, I want your basket. But from my country, I came with 10 baskets. I'm only buying 10 from you. My list says I have 50. Okay. That means she's trying to push in what she wants to buy. It's coming at a cost. Because if she takes what she did not bring, it is impounded.
Okay.
At point of entry.
Okay.
She has been supported to be here in terms of transport, in terms of accommodation, in terms of meals.
What is the story here when, I mean, you've attended expos, exhibitions, and I believe you've extended some of those opportunities to fellows at Naccau. What is the reality here vis-a-vis our comrades from the other side that you're talking about? Are you sometimes facilitated by the structures or the leadership of the arts?
Yeah, I should say the biggest facilitation has been documentation.
Yes.
100%. There's no office I've entered for a document and I've not got it. But when it comes to financial facilitation,
which ideally in this case it's what I'm meaning, because I would imagine pushing you to go and represent Uganda at an international expo exhibition. First things first, you're representing the nation Uganda, the country. So it's in that regard that I would think they would meet costs like one, your movement, your tickets, accommodation. Well, even if it comes with so is that something that really is a given?
I should say this has happened through the agreements with country to country.
Yes.
Yeah, I've attended some exhibition in India. The first time I attended it, I remember there's a sum I paid to be on that platform. Otherwise, if I hadn't paid, I wouldn't be there.
Okay.
Yes, I paid, I think, it was big money, something like 2 million. Yeah. So when I arrived and was there for those days and saw what was happening, the stall was free, accommodations was free, meals were free.
Okay.
So I realized there are some of these untapped opportunities which we need to follow up. So the following year, I tried to follow up on that program and kind of it was not there. Then after some time, I tried again. There was a chance for participation. What does this mean? It means now you're working as an individual.
True, true.
At that level, you begin working as an individual, and I will tell you I was working kind of an individual. I have to walk this way, go that way.
You were overwhelmed.
Yeah, I was overwhelmed, so I had to consult, what do I do, what do I do, what do I do? But luckily enough, we got an opportunity. The Indian government has got good relationships with Uganda.
Yes.
Meaning, they have reached to a level where they can offer tickets for like 5 artisans.
Yes.
Full board.
Okay.
Everything.
That's great.
And then they also offer tickets for a vibrant musical team.
To go and
showcase African culture, African dances, and all that.
Okay.
So
yeah. What is the reality still around exhibitions and these expos at the international level? What is the reality there when you reach, and how does that impact you locally here?
The reality showcases Uganda. Unfortunately, Uganda does not seem to see being showcased through culture and art. The moment I arrived, I've been in Brazil through one of my friends, Madame Resti. I've been in Brazil.
Yes.
The stall is labeled Uganda, meaning my presence there, I'm showcasing the country.
Yes.
But the country has not realized yet that I'm there because of the country. We've been in China, because if I'm paying my ticket, at least China, we get free stalls through the government. And that one, I really want to appreciate the Uganda government for giving us the opportunity to be at the Canton Fair without paying for these stalls. At least that is an incentive.
Yes.
It's an understanding between the Chinese government and the Uganda country.
Okay.
Then when it comes to being in Brazil, this was 100% on support.
Okay.
You pay your stall, you pay your accommodation, you pay your meals, and then you have to get the difference. The reality is there has been a difference. Sales have become better. We've gotten known in those countries. There are some people who have come indirectly to Uganda through the presence of us in those countries.
Yes.
How is Uganda? Is it as nice as you're saying? What is there? For us, we speak of Uganda through visual arts. Maybe I'm having a painting which is showing the animals, because sometimes we have masks now which show animals and the people. They will ask you, what is the meaning of these masks? Are they for rituals and so on? you have to explain these masks are not for rituals, but you can see animals. We have great animals in our country.
I get.
So that person wants to come and see a live elephant.
Sure.
And what have we added to this? We create an everlasting impression of the country. Because after someone has seen Uganda and probably buy this key ring, he saw that gorilla.
True.
So
That's
when
key holder?
Yeah, it's a key holder. It's a wooden key holder made in this country by one of the artists. Yeah, it's a gorilla. So she has seen the gorilla and she has it on his key. So when he's speaking of Uganda, he's speaking about the beauty of the country.
The beauty.
So
my next question from that is drawn from that. How do young artisans, ones that are starting out, budding artisans, or ones that would also want to exhibit or be part of these opportunities, exhibitions, where do they start from? What does it take?
yeah, that's a very, very good question. I've come to learn that before you come to me, there is somebody telling you she's difficult. So you will not come. For me,
you have the fear.
Yeah, you have the fear. As far as I'm concerned, I have knocked each and every door, however hard. I usually get my own experience of that door.
However much they have told you very many things about that door.
Whatever it means, I would say, no, I haven't got my portion of the other person. So asking is very key. Before I traveled any country, I also made inquiries. How do I get to this place? How do I get? In fact, it was just even here, Kenya. We used to have a Kamba bus just down here.
Yes.
I asked Sarah, how do I get there? Sometimes people don't say. In fact, the lady I asked, she told me, you want to make it, let me bring for you. Said, okay. She was older than me, and I was like, but every week you are going.
Why is it that I can't
why
also?
Do you think I cannot maneuver through the same? So what I did, I just said, no. I booked my bus. I was on board. And luckily enough, there was a gentleman also I asked, he told me, no, you can go. I have a friend. He will pick you from that bus and take you to the market.
Yes.
And that guy communicated to his friend the other side. I picked a bus just across, went to Kenya without knowing. Adventure, I love adventuring.
Yes.
So you should embrace adventuring.
It is part of
That is part
travel.
of it. And the rest is history about that journey, because when I arrived in the market, the lady could not wait for me. I was, within a few minutes, I was finished. My money was over. Because, I mean, everything was kind of good. So I left. But what am I saying? One, you need to learn to adventure. Try. Business is try and error. It's not every day that you'll get what you expect. Two, you need to know which office to go to. And three, you need to respect whoever you find there. It is their time.
Regardless of what they have told you about
Regardless of what they are saying. And the unfortunate bit now, our youth, I think, I have seen there's a challenge of wanting things to happen quickly.
Yes.
It is a huge challenge that when you come to somebody's office, you want them to drop whatever they were doing to attend to you. You cannot get information like that. You can't.
Okay.
And they are looking at you, Alinda, you've been in office for a long time, you need to get out, it's my time. They do not even have a way of getting you out of that office. So unfortunately, I have a son I usually share with, and he's tired of it. I'm like, you are a youth, you are young. Age is on your side, the brain is on your side.
Yes.
So you need to sit aside and work out a way of pushing me out of office. How? I cannot stay on the computer. Today it is computer. My eyes cannot accept me to be there. That is one. The other thing, innovate. These things now are no longer sold only in shops. You can sell them from, you don't have to hop like I hop from place to place. Embrace technology. So generally, I should say someone who is starting today, ask the people in the field. However hard, humble yourself. The work I'm doing has taught me how to humble myself even more, I think. Because I work with young mothers and the youth and people who are from the street, people who have a lot of challenges and who are my bosses now. Because by the time I come in, I'm told, those are your bosses. You look at a girl who is your boss, And you're like, is this real?
And the best you can do is to simply accept, humble yourself.
You humble yourself. If you can humble yourself, I'm telling you, in this industry, you learn a lot, because you do not have to go to a class for 1,000 days to learn arts and crafts. Sometimes you even don't pay to learn.
Yes.
Because I will tell you, the young women I'm working with today, if I ask for a fee, they can't afford to pay me.
True. That brings me to the question. When I hosted Mchala Bako here, she told me about the opportunities and around Naccau and the move to training.
Yeah.
And you're talking about the young ladies that are now under your, your guidance and training. Tell me more about the training bit, particularly at your stall, shop number 20. How many people have probably passed through your hands? How many are you mentoring today? And those who are out there and they just would love to do something like you do, or even just have a one-on-one conversation, guidance, mentorship from you. How do they kickstart that?
Well, students do come by, ask a few questions, and sometimes they bring questionnaires, and I offer my time.
Yes.
Sometimes I'm contracted at a fee. Can we have your expertise with us? We want this and this and that. Because sometime, I think it was last year, I was contracted by Celes International to train some women in Gulu, in Arua, into these handicrafts. But me, I don't end up on training because I work with groups.
Yes.
Somebody who does the basketry is another one. I do beadwork. I also come into tailoring. So how do I do it? This one was a contract and I was paid. Then there is the one I'm doing right now. It's also a contract. The contract is about me training into this tailoring, beadwork, and basketry. However, it goes beyond. My work is beyond the training. There is mentorship.
Yes.
There is marketing.
Because a person might learn to do this, they do them, but what next?
Yes, there is marketing, and I'm one of their biggest buyers. So I buy. Yeah, I do buy from them, and I have their work sometimes I travel with it. When you're buying, you have to pay cash. It is not credit.
Yes.
So I'm one of their biggest buyers. Then apart from that, I give extra, my contract can end this year, but the following year I'm doing a follow-up. Yes. How are you doing? Did you get something to do? Can you do for me this one? So
you trace
I kind of trace where I've been without, now the contract is over, but still I want to know what is happening.
Yes.
So generally, when somebody comes to me with a particular interest that I want to learn how, like now if you want to learn your tailoring and I'm around, I am open. I can give advice and I can tell you do it this way. And all this is through National Arts and Cultural Crafts Association of Uganda. Alone, I wouldn't have done it.
True. And Naccau is also behind this particular conversation.
I feel overwhelmed because now I feel the world is listening, the country is listening. I've shared this with all my friends whom I've been meeting all along, and I feel something better is coming. I usually want my voice to get out there to the government, because sometimes you don't know whom to address in government. You don't even know whether they are very interested in what you're saying,
Okay.
Because you'll be challenged. Give us statistics. What are you talking about statistics? What I'm sharing today and that market is enough for you to come and
now, given the timing, today, I've shared with some people that I've hosted here, one of the biggest challenges that the government is trying to solve, the questions the government is trying to solve, is the question of unemployment amongst the young people. Very many people have gone to school, done the professional courses, and they don't have the jobs. This industry that we are in, the arts, culture, creative, the CCIs, offer very many opportunities where people can get hands-on skills and they kickstart, they do something with themselves. And for me, I think if government, I just wanted to hint on and just make this much more call to government. This industry is one that can actually help government solve part of that problem,
Of
both in the
course.
performing arts
Of course.
and skill sets, you know, in the arts, crafts, and all these kinds of. So I just want you to now speak in capital letters to the government in that regard.
Anyway, what should I say? I think government is, I don't know what government wants. Naccau is one of the places which is creating jobs. I'm a product of Naccau.
Yourself.
I'm a product of Naccau. Now I'm telling you, I'm training women in the village. The target is something like about 500 doing different basketry and what. That is the target into these kind of things. Where are they going to sell tomorrow? They are going to learn the basket. They are learning the dresses and so on, the beadwork. What I'm calling government to take interest in this industry. We have ambassadors worldwide. These countries where we have gone through sometimes our own initiative, you go on Google or you find a product and say, I have to be on this platform. Yeah? How do we get to those markets? Our ambassadors, I'm calling upon the government to tell our ambassadors to look around for the opportunities in these countries. If they can share these programs to these associations, it may not be not only national, it can be worldwide, countrywide. Share what is happening in London, what is happening in USA, what is happening in India, what is happening in China. Open markets.
Yes.
We are looking for markets. We are not looking for handouts. Yes, we would love the handouts. Today I met one of the colleagues whom I was told is on the program for the World Expo. You've been talking about World Expo.
Yes.
World Expo, Alinda will be singled out that she has been on these programs. How? She's aggressive.
It's a personal initiative.
It is being aggressive. You meet someone, what's going on? It's not supposed to be like that. And when I talk about the expos, I'm not saying it should be Alinda to be there. Alinda is national arts.
Yes.
Whoever goes there,
but let the opportunities be there, let people go.
Open up. I have attended the one in China. That was 2010. It was running for 6 months. So we had five of us or three per month. 5 times 6 is about 30 people. 30. Let's say 3 times 6. Those are 18 people in the industry. That was a huge number. We paid for our tickets. We paid for our accommodation. We were given the stall. And we were ready to work and we were happy. Nobody is saying there is a budget banja. In Uganda, you call it Ibanja and Runyura Ibanja. Tituku banja, I should say. But I'm saying when the program comes, give the sector an opportunity to showcase the country. I did the Expo Milan. Milan was quite expensive also. I paid my ticket. I paid my accommodation. We were a number, like 30 people. The first team which went participated very well. The second team, it was on pressure that we had to go there. When I arrived, they asked, how comes the other group is not coming? Be very cool. I'm like, why? It is an opportunity. Arts and crafts were well represented for that program. Does Uganda sell only arts and crafts?
No.
We make a lot of things. So many things are floating, oils and so on and so on. I don't want to go off track, but I'm saying the World Expos you're talking about is an open market. The World Expo is an open market for Uganda to showcase and sell what they make.
Thank you so much, Ms. Alinda. As we wind up, briefly take us through what we have here on set today.
Wow.
For someone out there to just get the right full picture of part of the things that you do, and maybe also just speak about them. Probably someone who is to buy this might see it here. This is a key holder.
Yeah.
With, this is a chimpanzee.
It's a gorilla. It's supposed to be a gorilla.
A gorilla.
Yeah.
We have this beautiful basket.
Okay.
Now, which I loved so much. So just take us through.
I'll take you through a few things. I'll need to take you through those beads today. But I'll take you through the basket. This is, you can use it for fruits. You can use it for whatever you would wish.
Let's start. What is it made of?
It is made out of banana fiber. we have raffia, and inside we have banana stem. Recently, we are mainly using papyrus because it is readily available. It can multiply quickly, and it doesn't quickly pick on insects.
Oh.
The banana sometimes picks on insects and it wears quickly, but the papyrus is the best we can have because the more you cut it, the more it shoots up.
Okay.
So it is what is inside.
Okay. Would you be comfortable sharing the price here, or they are negotiable when they come to your office?
No, I'm comfortable sharing the price. I would love to have 30,000 Uganda shillings from this basket. However, if you make your way to the shop, you could have it much less. Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about
Then
the other things that you have.
we also have the cow horns. I don't make them, but we have one of our members, Madame Dora Ntege,
Okay.
and member of National Arts. She makes products out of cow horns.
Okay.
This is a comb, and we have a small bowl. I want to speak about this. I should have brought a mask, a face mask. I didn't say something about the tailoring. My journey for tailoring is my progress from the COVID.
Oh.
Yeah, when COVID hit, I was sleeping and I'm not used to staying in one place. They've been telling me she's always moving. Yeah, I enjoy exploring. But when COVID came in, I couldn't explore.
I always tell you you're in between here and there. All right, Miss Alinda, I want us to also get into the some of the feedback that is coming in from the people that are watching live.
Okay.
I have Asha Chibirige, who is saying impressive, impressive. Thanks so much, Asha Chibirige, for watching. Ismail Matovu is asking, where do I find you guys? Just remind our people where they can find you.
They can find us at National Arts and Cultural Crafts Association of Uganda, plot 426, and my stall number is number 20. We are just next to the National Theatre, below the Parliament of Uganda.
Yes, so Mr. Matov, you know where to find Miss Alinda. Come to the National Theatre, the lower gardens, ask for Naccau, the administration, they will show you shop number 20. Another one is Mariam Nandaula. Now, Mariam Nandaula is sharing her big ups to you. She's saying, yes, Alinda. Then we have Francis. Francis is asking, how is the market for those products? I think you hinted about
the market, and I'm saying the market is huge, but you have to embrace technology to look for all these markets. The markets are there. Production has to be up to date, because if you have to go beyond Uganda, you need to really make it better.
All right. Many more comments coming in, but because of time, I will end with Ebenezer, who is saying, thank you, Joselyn. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. You can as well engage and be part of this conversation every Thursday afternoon from 2 p.m. or thereabout. Be live on the Living Arts YouTube channel to dissect more of the arts and culture stories from the people that are making these stories and doing a lot in this industry. Your last remarks, Miss Alinda?
My last remarks, I would like to mention that I'm on 0704 614035. And for those who want to train, you can come to National Arts and Cultural Crafts Association of Uganda and enjoy our trainings. We have everything in arts and crafts. The other one I would say to the government, kindly make Uganda a center. National Arts and Cultural Crafts. National Arts and Cultural Crafts deserves to be a center.
Without just adding anything. Is this where I said thank you for the shirt? Thank you so much, Miss Alinda, for coming through. Till next Thursday, ladies and gentlemen, we shall be right here again with yet another guest from Naccau. Thank you so much to the team in the production and Mr. Wanika from the administration of Naccau and the entire team at Naccau. My name is Patrick. Till then, bye-bye.